Okay, today I'm going to talk inside of Illustrator. I'm going to talk about working with typography a little bit. And this is just sort of an introduction to typography. Later on in the semester, we'll do a lot more about typography. But for now, I'm going to want to make kind of shapes out of typography. What I mean by that is I'm going to actually make a drawing with just letters. And if you just go to Google and you search under images, and you type under typography and you hit search, you get all kinds of cool examples. So today what I'm just going to cover how to do letters and how to just make letters into shapes. So as you can see here, there's a shape of a gun with some typography there, and so then we have a shape of a horse, Jimi Hendrix, made out of a bunch of different letters, which is kind of cool. And then there's some really nice ones on here. As you can see the face made out of letters. So I'm gonna briefly go over how to do simple shapes with typography. Again, using just color and shapes. And so looks for some examples, try and be a little inspired. Again, I'm using just Illustrator, but if you can find another application that can do letters and you don't have Illustrator, feel free. Microsoft Word, I guess, or something like that. I don't know, Word's kind of evil. At least for me it is. But as you can tell, today I'm just going to cover how to do different shapes with making just letters. Okay, and I'm going to use Illustrator, of course. So I'm going to start off by, this is the type feature inside of Illustrator, and I'm going to make a very simple type example using letters. Basically, I'm going to make a simple face by clicking on the screen. Okay, using the type tool, I just click once on the screen. Then I'm going to put an O in there. Okay. And then I'm going to make this O a lot bigger. How I'm going to make the O a lot bigger. Now, you could go through and select the letter by putting your cursor on the edge and dragging it over top of the letter like you would select something either in a browser or Microsoft Word. And when you do that, you can change the point size of the letter by going under the typography option. If you don't see the typography option inside of Illustrator, it's under Window, Type, and then I'm going to say Character. Window, Type, Character. By bringing this character window up, allows me to change the font. A whole bunch of font options here. As well as changing the weight, bold, and things. In fact, let's make it bold. Bold. And then you can change the point size if you would like. Or another way to go about it was not necessarily using the character and all this, is just to go over to your black selection tool, which is the first one over here. If I click on it, I can then put my cursor, and if you see when you're using the selection tool, when you have an object selected, in this case just the O that I put on the screen in Illustrator, you'll get these sort of squares going around the outside, which allows you to either rotate, scale something, and things like that. If I hit Control Plus, it'll allow me to zoom in a little bit so I can see a little more. Then if I put my cursor along the edge, I can make my letter a lot bigger. I can move it around, make it bigger, move it around, make it bigger. In fact, I don't want bold. Let's make it thin. How about condensed? Ooh, not italic. How about condensed? There we go. That's more of a shape of a head. Basically, I'm looking for a head shape. There we go. And you can scale it, scale it. That's a good start to our head. Now, as I'm working inside of Illustrator, if I put a shape, in this case a big O on the screen here, and I don't want to mess with it anymore, because one of the things is it's hard to select things. If I make another letter and put it over top of this one, and I'm trying to click on it and drag it, it might accidentally click on the one behind it, blah, blah, blah. My whole point here is that you can go to the Layers window inside of Illustrator, and if you do not see Layers inside of Illustrator, you go under Window, Layers, Window, Layers, and it'll pop up. Basically, how you can build things inside of Illustrator or Photoshop or any of these Adobe applications is that they have multiple layers, and it's basically like stacking things on top of each other. In this case, I'm going to lock this one and then make a new layer by clicking next to this trash can right here. If you see, there's a little trash can in the Layers window. Next to the trash can, there's a new one. And by doing that, then I can't click and move this one. It's kind of set where I want it to be. Next, I'm going to make some eyes, maybe a nose and a mouth and maybe some ears. So we're making this letter O into actually a character. So you just need to be a little bit creative in thinking about that. If I was going to make an eye, I could click on the letter. Again, I'm going to just use letters. I'm going to click on the screen with there. And you can be outside the area here. It doesn't have to be inside. You can make things outside and then move them anywhere you want inside the screen. I'm going to make it an eyeball. So think about it. How could I make an eyeball with the characters on the keyboard? Okay, it could be just a dot. It could be maybe an @ sign. Could be an and sign. I don't really know. I'm thinking myself. How about we do a dot would be kind of boring, wouldn't it? How about we do a B? A letter B. It could be glasses, couldn't it be? And let's make it a little bit bigger. Again, if I go back to the black arrow, I can then put my cursor along the edge and make it bigger. Yeah, they do look kind of like glasses. How about that? Okay, and then we can, remember I talked about when you have it selected with the black selection tool, you can put your cursor along the edge and you can scale it, or you can rotate it. If you put your cursor all the way around to the very top edge there, you can allow you to rotate it. And so if I rotate it around, you can see I could make sort of there. Oh, maybe these could be glasses. Look at that. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Glasses. And of course I don't want it to be directly in the center. How about we make some little dots in there also? If I click and I can hit the, how about we put a period in there? Yeah, I did. I hit the period key. Oh, I did. I cheated. I hit the period key. Let's see. Is there a period in there? Is there even anything in there? I don't see anything. Oh, well, there's like a little dot. That's not working. How about if we use, what can we use for eyes? Well, we could use, let me try again. We could use maybe the, no, not that one. How about we use, I guess we could use a 0. And let's see what we can do with the 0. Make it bigger, squish it a little bit. There we go. Squish it, squish it. There we go. And then maybe stick it inside there. There's one. Now to duplicate, and we're going to do this a lot in another video, I'm going to use the Alt key and the black arrow, Alt key and the black arrow, and I'm going to click and drag, and now I have 2 of them. So Alt, click and drag, or if you're using a Mac, it would be the Option key. Okay, so we have that. What else? So we have 2 eyes. How about we make a nose? Let's use the letters again. Click on the screen. What can we use for a nose? I guess a V. Could that make a nose? That's going to be a boring one. How about, okay, yeah, let's try the V anyways. We'll just see what it looks like. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Again, I'm using the black arrow and squishing it a little bit. And we can stick it in there. Kind of looks like a bird, doesn't it? Now it's Mr. Owl. There we go. Mr. Owl. And then let's use the letter tool again. In this case, I'm going to use for the mouth. What do we got on the keyboard that we could use for a mouth? Maybe the bracket. How about that? The bracket. Make it a little bit bigger. Again, rotating. And there we go. That looks kind of like a mouth, doesn't it? Okay, then what could we use for ears? Ears. I'm going to use the letter tool again. Click on the screen. What could we use for ears? The V would be too easy, wouldn't it? How about the Y? I guess we could use a Y. And we could flip it around. And maybe rotate it a little bit so it matches. And then duplicate that. And then rotate it the other way. And put that in there. Kind of like ears on it, right? Okay, so for this first one I did was very simple, using just basically letters to make some kind of shape. I did a face, but of course you could do anything you want. Cat, dog, person, place, or thing. How about that? I don't know. So I just want you to think about letters and how letters can be used in the shape of objects. A very basic lesson in typography.